Welcome to your Friday Drive-By. This is where we answer your questions, whatever's on your mind that you need help with. The number, should you have a question, is 8333-ASK-SDR. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. If we play your question, we will send you a swag bag of some fun stuff just as a thank you. And also understanding that if there's a question you have, it probably will help others too that are too afraid to call and ask.
Always helps.
And how are you doing, Chris Joel?
I'm great, thank you very much. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
I like Fridays.
Friday Drive-By.
Good time to drive and buy.
Let's go to this week's question.
I am a service advisor at a Volkswagen dealership. I have been a service advisor at other brands as well. My question is, sometimes I have a customer that, they pay for a repair and they say, well, this really reflects poorly on such and such brand. Basically saying, I'm just turned off by the whole Volkswagen thing as a result of this failure. How could I kind of reframe that more positive for the customer, both for them and also for our CSI in general? It's something that I've struggled with over my career.
So I do have a thought. So I think I understand where we're at. It's like the customer that comes in and we need to do a valve cover gasket. And they're like, well, I can't believe VW makes this product. And I'm never coming back here again, and that whole thing. So I do think that kind of just as a rule, auto manufacturers get a bad rap because think of all the stuff that you have that doesn't move, that breaks all the time. Like a car has a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of outside factors that figure into it. How we use it affects how much stuff breaks. Where you live has an effect on how much stuff breaks. And then
how you use it.
I feel like you looked at me a funny way when
how you drive it.
How you drive it.
The RPMs,
all of that, right?
The jumps you go over.
So my advice would be to kind of put all of that stuff into perspective and just understand that at the end of the day, we've all seen advisors that have gone from one brand to another brand, and the customers will follow them to said brand regardless of what the brand is or what they know about it. Where we're still, at the end of the day, in the people business, and the better the friends you can make with a customer, the less focused they are on the thing that happened. Now, I would certainly say I understand your frustration, man. It's always terrible when cars don't operate the way that they're supposed to. But thankfully, we're here. We have service, and also thankfully, you have a warranty because your MacBook doesn't have a 4-year warranty on it, and that doesn't necessarily last forever either. So we're here for you. And the reason that we provide service for you is that we want your car to last for a long time, but it's not going to last for a long time and never break.
Yeah. So I think that the thing to think about first before we get to that is something you touched on is, are we petting the dog? Are we talking to the customer about things that would put us in the frame of a friend? So where are they headed today? Kids, hobbies, aspirations, that sort of thing. Are we doing that at the time of write-up? Are we making friends and getting in that frame? Or is it just a transaction? Are we saying like, hey, what brings you in today? What time was your appointment? What's going on with the car? And everything we're talking about is about the car. I would say you want like an 80-20. 80% of what you're talking about should not be the car and 20% should be the car. And, the car is the easy part, right? Like it's not... If you've been writing service for as long as you have, there's not much new that you're going to come into every day. So the car is the easy part. Writing the RO is the easy part. Getting the description from them, all that is pretty easy. The important part is the connection and, talking to them like they're a friend, like somebody you would talk to about what you're doing this weekend or where you're going this summer, that sort of thing, right? And then if you're in that frame, this sort of objection is going to come up less. But then you have all of the analogies, and this is usually a good time to use an analogy about, I totally understand how you feel. And unfortunately, I don't know if you just saw SpaceX, their rocket, blew up because of a little oil pump or whatever it was.
Oh no, it
And
was O-rings, wasn't it?
yeah,
It
O-rings or
was
something.
so
And
tiny.
I recently had a MacBook that was only 6 months old, whatever your story is. But whenever we have things that have, mechanical moving parts that are pressurized and experience, stress and wear and tear, there's going to be a failure rate. And I'm really sorry that it's happening to you, but it does happen. And just having some empathy, but doing some sort of an analogy, usually softens it.
Yeah.
On the other end of that, you probably have somebody who can't afford that in the moment or wasn't
But
expecting
it's not
it.
about the thing. Yeah, that's a really good point.
So you got to have some empathy, and really try to understand. But good question. I think the fact that you're asking the question, you have lots of empathy.
Yeah, because
It's great.
you said I don't want customers to be disappointed with the brand and reflect poorly on CSI or her and everything like that. I get it, but if cars didn't break, there wouldn't be service departments.
Yeah, and I would just say I've many times in my career seen advisors get perfect CSI on a car that we wrecked or even totaled a couple times. And so it's all about the connection and the frame that you're in that will determine the way the customer talks to you, the questions they ask, the tone, all that. But yeah. Great question. Thank you. Remember the number's 833-3-ASK-SDR, and we'll talk to you next time on Service Drive Revolution. Thanks for watching this week's Drive By. I hope we gave you something to think about over the weekend. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.